Hey there, wonderful students. Welcome to Educate. Let us continue with our Sikhanyisa Elokugcina series, whereby we are practicing a linear algebra. Now we are doing the span of a vector space. The question is a proof that says, prove that the span of any set of vectors in a vector space V is a subspace of the vector V. So in case you didn't know, the span set of vectors can also be a subspace, or actually is a subspace. In other ways, if we've got the subspace W of the vector V, it simply means that it actually is a span of the vectors that are found in V. Something like this, okay? So now we just need to prove that for 4 marks that a span is actually a what? Is actually a vector. Okay, it's actually a subspace of the vector space V. All right. So now we need to know what is a span of vectors. So basically, when we're talking about a span of vectors, which I will represent by W, we are just talking about the space that is containing all possible linear combination. So if we are having the vectors V1, the vectors V2, all the way until the last vector, call it Vk or Vn, for whatever naming that you want, right? So basically in a span, we are only talking about linear combination. Actually, a span is a space that is consisting of all possible linear combinations, whereby a linear combination is simply a constant C1 times the first vector plus a constant C2 times the second vector, and until the constant Cn times the nth vector must give you some vector, call it vector B. All right. So here in this case, what we want to prove that this span of vectors, a span of vector, a span of any set of vectors is actually a subspace of V. So these are vectors that are found in the vector space V. So if we say that it is a span, it simply means that, or it implies that it is a space whereby we find all the possible linear combinations to give us a particular vector. So for us to prove that it's a subspace, we need to meet 3 conditions. The first condition, it must not be an empty set. Okay, so remember the first condition for proving that something is a subspace, yes, first it must be a non-empty set. So it simply means that there must be a zero vector. So the zero vector must exist in that particular set, must exist. So here our set that we are given here, it is the span of the vectors, or the space consisting of all possible linear combinations, right? So we just want to ask ourselves, can we find a zero vector in the span of V1, V2 to Vn, or can we find a zero vector in a space consisting of linear transformations, linear combinations, I mean? Yes, we can find it, because basically the zero vector can be expressed as a linear combination. You need to remember that the zero vector can be expressed as what? Is 0 multiplied by the first vector in the set plus 0 multiplied by the second vector in the space. You do this until 0 multiplied by the nth vector in the set. So basically it simply means that here we can actually express zero vector as a what? As a linear combination of the set of vectors. So it simply means that the zero vector is within this particular space, which is the span, right? Remember, the span is just the space that is consisting of all linear combinations. So in other ways here, what are we trying to prove by writing 0 as a linear combination? We are trying to prove that 0 is found within the linear combinations, because 0 can be expressed as a linear combination. So it is found within this space that is known as a span. So the zero vector must exist within that space for it to be a subspace. That's the first condition. The zero vector must exist. And in this case, we have proven that the zero vector is existing in the span, because the zero vector can be written as a linear combination. So please make sure and go back to my videos where I explained what is a span, what is a linear combination. Okay, so that you understand that when I say that the zero vector is found in the span of this set of vectors, it simply means that the zero vector can be written as a linear combination of the following. So the zero vector exists within the space. So the space is a non-empty set. At least there's a zero vector within it. So that's the first condition. Then the next condition is the closure under addition, right? So the next thing that we need to prove is closure under addition. So when we prove closure under addition, we need to prove that if we add two elements in this span or in this subset or in this subspace, if we add those two elements, we're going to get an element within the same set. So I have to pick two elements within this, right? So let me just pick a vector u that is found in the span, right? And then this vector u, I'm just going to write it as a linear combination, because when we say that the vector u is found in the span of this set of vectors, it simply means that we can write it as a linear combination of them. So c1 times v1 plus c2 times v2 plus all the way until cn times vn. So here, what did I do here? I have picked a vector u that is found in this span. So basically u is an element of the span, or u, it is found in the span of these vectors v1, v2, all the way until vn. When we say that vector u is found in this span, it simply means that it can be written as a linear combination of the vectors in this set, right? And then we pick another element, which I will call a w for my convenience sake. So if I pick w and I use different constants, maybe let's just call the first constant a b1 times vector v1 plus b2 times vector v2, and I add this all the way until bn times the vector vn. So here I'm trying to say that w is also an element of the span of this set of vectors. Simply means that the vector w can be written as a linear combination of these vectors that we are having, v1 to vn. So here, the vector w is actually an element of the what? Of the span of the following v1, v2, all the way until vn, whereby these constants c1, all the constants c1, c2 until cn, all of them, they are found in a field of real numbers, and then b1, b2, bn, they are also found in a field of real numbers. You can also write that and say c1, c2, all the way until cn, they are found as real numbers. Same applies for the constants b1, b2, all the way until bn, they are found as real numbers as well. Okay. So now, having this, we need to prove that if we do the sum of these two elements within the span or within this subset, we must be able to get an element within the same set as well. So if I'm going to do u plus w, if I'm going to do vector u plus a vector w, I am going to add a corresponding entries as well, because you can see that this c1 is multiplied by v1, this b1 is multiplied by v1. So I can add c1 and b1 and say both of them, they are multiplied to v1. So I can just say here, this is c1 plus b1, then these are multiplied by vector v1, and I do the same thing for the other one. I add corresponding entries, which is c2 plus b2 multiplied by the vector v2, and then I do this all the way until I add cn plus bn, all of them that are found in vn. And remember that I've said that here this is c1 and b1, they are all real numbers. C2 and b2, they're all real numbers. Cn and bn are all real numbers. It simply means that when I'm adding them in this way, the sum of c1 and b1, the sum of c2 and b2, and the sum of cn and bn, all of them, they are going to give me real numbers as well, because you cannot add two real numbers and not get a real number. Okay, so whenever I do the sum of these two, I'm getting a real number as well. So, and then this is a real number multiplied by vector v1. This is a real number multiplied by vector v2. This is also going to be a real number multiplied by the vector vn. And this is exactly telling us that this sum u plus w it is actually a linear combination of V1 until Vn as well, because you can realize that here, for me to get U plus W, I am just taking a real number, multiplying it by V1, plus another real number by V2. I do this until the last set, which is a real number times Vn. So this is telling me that even U plus W can also be written as a linear combination. So if it can be written as a linear combination of these vectors, it means that the sum U plus W, it is also found in this span, in the span of a vectors V1 until Vn. Because basically the span is just the space consisting of all possible linear combinations that vectors can be written in form of. In this case, we are going to write U plus W. We have done the sum of U and W, right? And we have found out that when we add these two, I'm still getting a real number or a scalar multiplied by V1, a scalar multiplied by V2, a scalar multiplied by Vn, and I'm adding them all together. So that's the definition of a linear combination. So essentially, U plus W is also an element of a span. So I can just say the sum U plus vector W is also in the span of this vector, of the set of vectors V1, V2 all the way until Vn. Simply means that I can write U plus W as a linear combination of V1, V2, and Vn. I've already expressed that. So it is closed under addition, because if I add U and W, I'm getting the element that is still within the same space. In this case, I'm adding U, which is a linear combination, W, which is a linear combination, and I'm getting something that is still a linear combination of the same exact vectors. So there is closure under addition. Then the last thing that you have to prove so that it can be qualified as a subspace, you must have closure under scalar multiplication. So there must be closure under scalar multiplication. So closure under scalar multiplication. Once you satisfy all of these three conditions, now you can now conclude or deduce that this is a subspace, right? So now we want to try to see that if we are doing some scalar multiplication, are we still going to get a vector within the same space, right? In this case, within the span, right? Because here we're trying to prove that the span of any set of vectors is a subspace. We are trying to prove that the space consisting of all linear combinations is a subspace of vector V. So now let's do some closure under scalar multiplication. So I'm going to pick a scalar C, that is a real number, and then I'm going to multiply it to one of the vectors U or W, because I've already had vector U and W up there. So it's simple to just pick any scalar and then multiply it all over. So if I do that, I'm going to just say pick a scalar, maybe call the scalar D so that it can be different, right? So if I say D times vector U, it means that I'm saying the scalar D times, remember that vector U is the linear combination, right? Which is given by C1 V1 plus C2 V2 all the way until Cn Vn. This one. So here I'm multiplying all the expression for U with the scalar multiple D. And if I expand that, this is just going to give me du given by d C1 V1, and then this is gonna give me d C2 V2, and then all the way until d Cn Vn. So I've done some multiplication into the brackets, multiplied each and every element there with the scalar D. And what do I notice here? I realize something here, that I can just put a bracket here and say, since D is a real number, and I've also said that C1, C2 until Cn are also real numbers. So essentially, the product of two real numbers is a real number as well. Okay. So if I say 2, which is a real number, times 4, I'm going to get 8, which is also a real number. So similarly here, the product of D, which is a real number, and C1, which is a real number, I'm going to get a real number times V1. If I do D times C2, I'm going to get a real number times V2. And if I do D times Cn, I'm going to get a real number times Vn. And this format is still getting us back to the same thing that says that basically if you can just say a scalar times vector v1 plus another scalar times vector v2 plus another scalar times vector vn, then it's a linear combination of the vectors v1, v2, and vn with these coefficients dc1, dc2, and dcn. So essentially here I can just say even the vector d times u, it is also found in the span of the vectors v1, v2, all the way until Vn. Simply means that I can be able to write du as a linear combination of these. And I've been able to prove that because I've written d1, dc1 v1, dc2 v2, dcn vn. So it means I've written these as a linear combination. So essentially d times u is in the span of these set of vectors v1 until vn. And essentially by this, I've already proven that this is a subspace because I've proven that the zero vector exists as a linear combination. And I've proven that there is closure under addition, meaning that if I add two elements of this set, I'm going to get an element which is still going to be in that set as well. And then I've proven that there is closure under scalar multiplication. If I pick a scalar and I multiply to a vector within this set, I'm still going to get a vector within that set as well. Yeah, in other words, I'm still going to get a vector which I can express as a linear combination, because having a span set of vectors simply means that it's a space having all vectors that I can express as linear combinations of v1, v2 until vn. Thank you so much for watching this video, wonderful students. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.